You know who we should get on the blower?
Who?
The Bureau of Meteorology.
Great shout. I really couldn't tell you what the track's going to be playing like in Sydney on the weekend. I wish I knew.
I didn't even really take it into consideration because it seems to be a wet deck each week. But
yeah,
when you sent me that text, I was a bit going, eek.
Eek, man. Yeah, there's a few horses which I'm sure we'll probably talk about later, specifically for the Group 1s as well.
Yes.
That relish a nice heavy dick.
Yeah, so fingers crossed the rain does come because a lot of my fate is depending on it, I think. But we'll get to that when the time comes. But horses to follow either out of last weekend or this coming weekend, mate. Kick us off.
First things first, I'm going to start with Oxley Road.
Huge.
Who won the Group 3 Zetative Stakes ahead of my best bet of the day, It's Our Time. Lol. Look, found another gear with 300 metres to go, and Peter Moody said after the race he'd be more explosive off pace. So looking for a race with some early speed. He was pretty explosive on pace, so good things to come for that horse, I think.
Before the race, on RSN, they have the autumn ticket, which is basically like they talk to all different connections for all different races. Peter Moody, they're like, so is Oxley Road a winner today, Moods? He's like, moral. This thing's winning.
Wish I heard that.
I heard that. I was like, don't want to go against DJ's best bet of the day, but I really wanted to put it in one of my combos, and it might have helped. But anyway.
Oh, well.
Yeah, could be worse. Aegon for mine, really hard to miss. New Zealand galloper just absolutely blitzed him. Didn't really have a run, but when the breaks came, he absolutely exploded. Nommed for the Randwick and Rose Hill Guineas, and the Doncaster Mile as well. So
okay.
Yeah, I think he'll be mighty hard to beat wherever he goes.
Fair enough. I've got Butter Chicken, so she ran second in the Autumn Classic. Firstly, great name. Secondly, great silks.
Do you know the origin of the name?
I reckon Brad might have told me, but no, I've forgotten.
So the Connections named it after that bloke who got done for violating COVID rules and his explanation or his reasoning was that he was getting a butter chicken curry.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
It's pretty good.
And if she goes on to have any kids, have to name them after other curries, surely.
Oh,
little tiki masala going around.
Well, Rogan Josh was an old horse that ran around, so why not?
Yeah.
Even like naan.
Yeah, just naan. Garlic naan.
Yeah. Cheesy garlic naan.
Yeah, it could be like the progeny of schnitz, except they've all got some sort of naan. You get really just into it and you got all these different naans floating around all the time. It'd be awesome. And they're all related to butter chicken.
Yeah.
Anyways, so great name. 3-year-old filly in those red and white silks. Speaking of, if you're watching on YouTube, there's one down here. Yeah, she showed a really good turn of foot in the last furlong. Lost by about a neck. But I think she might be probably a bit more of a spring horse. She's nommed for the Rose Hill Guineas at $41, but the trainer Graham Begg said they're probably taking her to the Alistair Clark Stakes, which is on the 2nd of March. Actually, sorry, March 12th, Moonee Valley. So if they're taking her there, she won't be at the Rose Hill Guineas. But one to keep an eye on for the spring, I think.
Beautiful. I had 2 from the trials. First one, Doubtland.
Yep.
Now, going into the spring, everyone was saying that this was the best 3-year-old. Now, they might have just been a preparation early because his run in the Coolmore was very underrated. He was the one furthest out wide, battling the breeze, and he ran into 4th really nicely. And he's going to get wet tracks in Sydney. And the 3-year-olds have had a pretty average start.
Yeah, they have.
So I reckon he's the one that could actually explode out. I should have looked at what he's actually being aimed towards, but don't know. The other one, Summerdout. Remember him?
Yeah, I do.
He's been off for about a year and a half, but he's had 2 trials and he's won both of them by about 6 lengths.
Right, okay.
So he's back. Bjorn Baker said the big boy's back. So
good to hear, Bjorn.
Yeah, good to see.
Guess who's racing this weekend, mate?
Oh, heaps.
Yeah, lots of things. The King of the North, the Harrovian.
Oh, yes.
So he's in race 3 in Flemington. So
Big H.
yeah, a little bit of all-star mile prep for the big fella. let's see how he goes. No respect. He's $5.
Yeah, well, they were going to take him to the Futurity last week, and I think that was a good decision.
yeah. Nah, let's save him for the all-star mile because he'll win that surely.
Yeah, I reckon. What is he? $26.
Yeah. So
absolute juice.
Race 3 Flemington, guys. If you want to support a Queenslander who just has a great will to win.
He does. He's tough. He's real tough. One other one I had was Captivant, who's running in the 2-year-old race for the Colts in Sydney. Tried up really well. I think I followed him in the race that he didn't win last prep, but his first up run was really impressive. Wet track is a bit of a query, but he could be a late. There's always someone who, in the Golden Slipper picture, really late in the piece that comes out of nowhere. He could be the one. So
fair enough. Racing against Rocketing By, and there's a few other good 2-year-olds in there, I think.
Yeah, Rocketing By's in Melbourne.
Okay.
Captivants, I forget who he's well up against in the weights there. I'll check in just a second. But
while you're looking at that, mate, I had one more to watch this weekend in the Group 2 Skyline Stakes, which is race 2 in Flemington. Shakiro. Good win up here, down the Gold Coast.
That's who he's up against.
There you go.
We butchered that.
We did butcher that. There's too many races to review. Too many 2-year-olds. Form lines intersecting with each other. I can't keep up.
That's funny.
So look, he's $2.60 in that race. He's $16 for the slipper at the moment, Shakiro. So it'd just be good to see how he goes.
Yeah, agreed. Cool. Righty, Polo Recipients. This week I've got the reins back. So, Rachel King's stiff here because she's not getting a Navy Polo this week because I feel like we need to mix things up a bit because we've gone Jamie Carr back to back.
We have, yeah.
So, I'm giving a Navy Polo this week to the Oakley Plate handicapper.
Yeah, play on.
Dead heat, first dead heat in a Group 1 in 20 years, in Melbourne at least, not sure about Sydney. And it was 4 lengths from first to last. Now, I had probably my sickest beat ever in a horse race because I had the trifecta and I needed Brooklyn Hustle to poke her nose out. Obviously backed her to win and each way, and I had her in placings in a few combos, and it was a bare margin.
The smallest of margins.
Yeah. And I was listening to David Gately during the week, and he said, if you backed Brooklyn Hustle or Dirty Work on the weekend, you got the race right. It's just the luck didn't come. I was like, that doesn't help me. Feel better.
Doesn't help my back skyrocket gator. Yeah, it was a crazy finish. I actually missed the bloody race. I just completely forgot to watch it because I was travelling at that time. But watched the replay, and yeah, look, I think if Brooklyn had another even 20 metres, she would have won that.
Yeah. But credit to you, mate. Portland Sky, great. You proved me wrong.
Oh, geez. Like I said on the pod, a bit of a stab, but no, they're nice when they pay off. I think just drew so well, and just the pattern of the race just played out to perfection. But you should have brought in a frame photo of bloody Theodore Nugent, my favourite jockey. Well done. First Group 1 for him.
He has the autumn to prove himself that it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, but first ride in Group 1, he's 1 from 1. He's probably thinking, what's all this? What's so hard about it?
Too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy. I've gone a black polo this week for Pikey.
Yeah, good return.
5 rides on Saturday. He had a second last, which was with Regal Power, who's now been shipped back to WA. He had 3 seconds, 2 of those in Group 1s. One of them was on Perfect Jewel, and they've retired her after that.
Have they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she ran a length behind Rich Hips. Not a bad return. They retired her.
Oh, okay.
So something must not be right.
Yeah.
But I found that interesting. And then a dead heat for first.
Yeah.
That is a genuine middle tier day.
There or thereabouts, Billy Pike. Enjoy the black polo.
Bit of a frustrating day for the Wiz, but he'll be back. Good. Look, if he's running into the money 4 out of 5 times, I think on the whole you'd be pretty happy. Oh God, poor Tiger Woods, mate.
Jeez.
So he's switching out that red polo on the 4th day of the Masters, and he's putting on a purple one because he's had an absolute stinker. Hope he's all right, but he's shattered his ankle, 2 compound fractures in his leg. Yeah, it doesn't sound good, especially at his age. So I'm a bit of a golf fan. Love Tiger. He's like, when we were growing up, he was the most clinical sports person on earth.
Yeah.
Like, he was just absolutely dominant of his own sport. And yeah, obviously he hasn't been what he used to be after, all the scandals came out, but he's winning that Masters a couple of years ago. That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just sad to see a champion like that. All of his indiscretions aside, get injured like that. You don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Get well soon, Tiger.
Yeah.
Plenty of physiotherapy coming your way, brother.
Yeah. Deep tissue. Okay. 3 Group 1s in 2 states. Makes our life a little bit difficult, but we're going to start in Melbourne.
Okay.
The Australian Guineas. So this week, couldn't find many good stats, so I'm going to give the stats a bit of they're on the bench this week. But previous winners of the Australian Guineas, Seamus Award, who won the Cox Plate as a maiden.
Jeez.
To Danny O'Brien.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. Palantino, Haydock, Grunt.
Oh, yeah. I was a big fan of Grunt for that little period there.
Yeah. So was Willie Chambers.
Yeah, he was. Shout out.
Mystic Journey, where are they now? And Alligator Blood, where are they now?
The Blood.
Yeah, so he won last year. But
he sure did.
Gee whiz, mate. There's a pretty obvious starting point in this race, and that has to be the big boy Tagaloa.
It does. Geez, wasn't he great last start?
He was, and the form's been franked through Portland Sky winning.
It has. What I really liked about his last run, he sort of got caught out at the front and went forward, but sort of absorbed a lot of pressure early on because they were going pretty rapid. Checked out a replay during the week and absorbed a lot of pace and then just kicked away.
He really likes having that pressure, absorbing it, and then just running the rest of the field into the ground. That's what he did in the Blue Diamond. That's what he did in the CSAs.
Yeah. So we were both saying to each other during the week that we probably would have liked to have Mwanga in this race after his last start, but where have they taken him now? Is it the Rose Hill Guineas?
Randwick Guineas.
So, right, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, we had to obviously look elsewhere in this race. How do you think it's going to play out, mate? Because I can't see a lot of early speed here.
I think there will be. Poland, he came out of a pretty truly run race, but he was sitting off him a bit, but he can usually take up the running. I do think there is a bit of speed actually drawn inside Tagaloa.
Yeah.
He drew barrier 1 last time, and he basically found a position inside ASAR, which he could very well do again, or he might be outside ASAR this time, but I'm seeing him 3 wide on pace.
Yeah.
Which, he's a tough horse, but that's basically the bad luck that we saw right throughout the spring. And it's like he'll run a really nice 3rd or 4th, but I can't see him grinding away 3 wide, 1,600, which is that box he still hasn't ticked yet.
Yeah.
I can't see him winning.
Okay, fair enough. Look, one horse that I sort of came to mind when you said Tagaloa runs a good 3rd or 4th or whatever. ASAR can run a good 2nd. What are your thoughts on that?
He just has no will to win. They don't know what they're doing with this horse. They put the blinkers on, they put winkers on, they take them off. He's got no gear on this week. He had all the gear on in his last 2 starts.
Yeah,
they're just reaching. I think he's a Group 2 horse at best.
Okay,
he's not up to the best of 3-year-olds.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair enough. Interestingly, hit a shock as well. Apparently pulled up with some mucus in his schnoz after last start, and I think that's when I plugged him as maybe a roughie or an each way.
Yeah.
And he led pretty well and then just sort of pulled up with about 150 to go. So when you see that happen to a horse in their last start, do you really think that they're going to come back a couple weeks later and be all good? Or
As a rule, if I hear that anything has mucus, I just think of it, I think I've said this on the podcast previously. It's like if they put him through a round of antibiotics, I think I used this analogy for Nature Strip last year. If I've had antibiotics, they knock me around for a good month.
Yeah.
You know? But horses might be different, but I'm going to use that same analogy, and it's actually served me pretty well.
It has, yeah.
You know?
It has, yeah.
So if anything comes up with mucus, so 50 Stars did after its first run, its run after that, or no, they actually scratched it, then they took it to Sydney and it ran last by 8 lengths.
Yeah.
So here to shock, sorry, none.
Agreed, yeah. Well, if you don't like Tagaloa, you don't like Acer, how are you seeing it?
Well, I'm just not 100% sure that the Melbourne or Sydney form is any good now. I've got a real question mark about it. So I was looking through this field, and who's the one that is bringing some alternative form lines? And that's number 5, Dom de Shoot, the WA galloper.
Okay, yep.
So first up is not his go. He was finishing off really nicely behind Tagaloa, but he was still beaten 3.5 lengths. And Tagaloa, the thing about him last start is that he meets all these horses at equal weights. He was giving him this start. He was giving away like 2 or 3 kilos last start.
Yeah.
So he's treated really well at the weights, but I think he's drawn too sticky. But Dom de Shoot, mate, he was running in the features over in WA, and he was running outstanding races. At $13, $14, he looks an absolutely stupid price.
Yep.
Drawn perfectly. The wizard on the back.
He's in good form.
Yeah. I think I've found the overs in the race.
Man, it's always a nice feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I had a good look at Dom de Shoot, mate. So, look, I think you're onto something there. Completely agree. What are your thoughts on the filly, Zoo Dancer?
Who's she beaten?
Yeah.
Like, I just think, look, she beat Personal first up by 5 lengths. Handy. But that was over 1,400 metres.
Yeah.
Personal just won an Oaks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't think... And, 4 runs ago, she was running at Dunkeld.
Yeah.
Where the hell's that?
2 kegs less on her back than, your Ollie Kirks, your Tagaloas, Cherry Tortonis.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
And from memory, I don't think fillies do too well in a 1,600 metre against the boys.
Mystic Journey, the exception, but at the time she was flying.
Absolutely flying.
She won the All-Star Mile the next week. So, yeah, interesting, mate. But any others that you wanted to cover before we got into our tips?
I don't think so. I think we've pretty much covered off all the horses I was sort of looking at. But yeah, glad you brought up Dom de Shoot. Yeah.
Quickly, what the hell do you do with Ole Kirk? Because the commentary through the week was that he was ridden hard up against the rail, which apparently was absolutely toxic ground. It was really soft ground there and really shifty. But this bloke's run unbelievable sectionals on heavy decks in Sydney. Yeah. So I'm confused at what to do with him.
I'm a watch for Ollie Kirk this week, mate. I wouldn't have the confidence to take him.
Me neither, but I think he's an absolute necessity in your quaddie just for insurance because he's drawn out. I don't think that's actually such a bad thing for him. He's going to get into clear room, which you saw in the Golden Rose and in the Caulfield Guineas.
Yeah, when we had him, yeah.
Like he absolutely smoked all these horses in the Caulfield Guineas.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But my trifecta in the race, mate, Dom de Shoot on top. I've got Cherry Tortoni running second.
The big fella.
So,
one of your favourite gear changes this week for him.
Barrier extension, first time. So we saw this work really well for the big boy, Johnny Get Angry. First shout out to him on the podcast. He's probably our most mentioned horse ever. But yeah, hey, he's been running unbelievable races, and I don't think he was a 1.5 mile horse. I think he's more of a 1,600 to 2,000 metre horse. So I reckon he can run a brilliant race here. Barry's a bit sticky for
Very
mine.
sticky, yeah.
And then I had Tagalor into third.
Yeah.
I think he'll just get run over in the last 50, 100 metres.
Yeah, fair. Look, I've got Tagalor on top, just because I saw the form franked last weekend. In my mind, I've got to stick with him. Look, I'm a little bit nervous about where he's going to sit in the run, hoping that he's no more than 2 wide. But look, he's proven before, like he proved last run, he can absorb a lot of pressure. So I've got Tag on top. I've got Dom to Shoot running second. I had a real good look, but I actually didn't put him on top because of the WA form. I sort of thought it's too much. I don't know. But great shout by you. And 3-year-old fillies, mate. Zoo Dancer.
Yeah.
Got to have her in there.
Okay.
She showed me enough, so I've got to run third.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Beautiful. Well, I think we've got that one covered, mate. So let's venture to Sydney. But before we do, we have to have about a 2-minute chat about who we've got in front of us here. So who have you got in front of you right there?
Oh, this is my all-time favourite racehorse, Shoals. She was an absolutely gorgeous filly. Had an absolutely elite turn of foot, and always won at overs. So I think she was about $5 or $6 when she won on Derby Day in 2017. I think it was the Maya Classic then, which is now the Empire Rose.
Carrying 50 kilos.
50 kegs.
Yeah.
Dean Yendall on the back. Just got home, and that was the first leg of the quaddie for us that day, and we were very happy. She won the Surround Stakes in her next prep.
I've got a story about that quickly. I think I told it very early days on the podcast, but we're at the pub. Notoriously punters, I'm the worst. I cannot fill in a betting slip at the pub to save myself. I'm the worst of all time.
Shocking.
When I've had a couple of brown cordials, shout out to Dylan Buckley for that reference. But a couple of brown cordials, and it may as well be a Sudoku. But I meant to put $100 on her to place, and she was paying $11. And I see the estimated returns, and it was $1,100. I was like, gee whiz, holy! Can I get this changed, please? So I did, and then she wins by 3 lengths, and left about $700-800 on the table. So that's a lesson. That was a
sign. But how dare they put her at that price?
I know.
How dare they? Stupid price. And then she won a Group 1 in Adelaide a few weeks later. She was paying $12 again.
I know.
And I had her again.
Yeah. Silly.
They didn't learn their lesson, the bookies. But so she's my all-time favourite horse because I always found her when she ran well. A couple of exceptions, but
I always found this girl.
You sure did.
Canedna. And gee whiz, the bookies showed her none. No respect.
Absolutely zilch.
So her race that she won here, there was the Coolmore a couple years ago, 1,600 metre mile race for mares. But, oh, God, she was 34-1 there. And
34s.
that was one of the best runs you'll ever see. You know what? I'll actually chuck that in the show notes. That's what you can do. You can go to the show notes if you listen on Apple, and you can have I'll put the YouTube video in there, and I'll do that for Shoals as well.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, for her Surround Stakes win. But yeah, and then she had a dud run because she was on a heavy deck. Didn't like that. Went to Brisbane. She was $10 again.
Stupid price. No respect in the market.
None. But we reminisce about our wins, but let's find some future winners here, mate.
That was genuine story time.
It was.
But, two of our favourites, they deserve deserve the spotlight.
Yeah, so if we have any listeners listening, let's go to the Chipping Norton. Race 6 on your programs. 1,600 metre Group 1, 3-year-olds and up. Wait for age. Look, I did the form thinking it would be around a soft 6, soft 7. If it's better than that, then so be it. But if it's worse than that, my tips don't change.
Yeah.
So, How do you see this one playing out?
Well, I see it as a 3-horse race.
Interesting.
Between number 1, Colding, number 6, Very Elegant, and number 7, Colette.
Yep.
Yeah. Weather's going to play a big part in that, I think. If it's a soft 7 or worse, I think I'm with Colette. She is a scary, scary thing to come up against on a wet deck, as she proved last week. She's come out of that Golden Eagle and kept that form. And I think the only thing for this race is who leads and who sets the sort of pace. And I think Colding from that barrier is probably going to get a pretty good lead out front or be close to the lead. So I think he's in there with a real shot, because usually when he's ridden positively and ridden forward, he likes to run the race out at this distance. And look, he doesn't mind a softer deck, but he'd probably prefer it at like a soft 6 or a soft 5. And then obviously you've got Very Elegant, who's just an absolutely elite horse, but she hasn't won at the distance before.
Yeah, but she won first up 1,400 metres last prep, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. The thing I would be worried about her is drawing inside horses. I think she's best when she draws out.
Yeah.
You know, she can just blend in. But I think Prince Fawaz will go forward. It's probably Southern France will grind away. Look, here's a 2-miler. And, the $101 on offer, I think that's unders. But, yeah, I don't think there's a hell of a lot of speed in this race, and I think that's what Very Elegant needs. So I'm taking her on in this race. I think I said it last time. I'm backing Colette every single start. Like she, based on current form.
Yeah.
So I can't. She's one of my better bets of the day.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I'm trusting what I saw first up, that she's taken it to the next level, and she's going to find cutting the ground every single start, and she'll be hard to beat each start.
I think so. And previously mentioned Rachel King on the back again. She's in some ripper form and on a wet deck.
Oh, she's an elite wet track jockey. So
yeah, I agree with you with Very Elegant. She's proven us wrong plenty of times before, but I think the pattern of this race will not suit her to a T, and the 1,600 metres is a query still for her. That's just the way it is, but never write off a champion. But for the $2.60 on offer,
bit short.
Fun
Star's an interesting runner. She got scratched from Melbourne. She got scratched from an easier race in Sydney, so... that shows some pretty big intent from the stable. Chris Waller, Glenn Boss on board, which is interesting. But, can't possibly get involved because whenever she's gone up against open company, she's failed. So, look, I've got Colette on top, Very Elegant running into second, and I've got Master of Wine. I'm giving him another chance. I think him going the Sydney way of going is a positive, and a wet track is a positive as well. And got Tommy Berry on board.
Go Tommy Berry. Yeah, mate, fair. I've got Colette on top if it's a soft 7 or worse. I've got Colding running second and VE running third. If it turns out that there's not as much rain in Sydney and we're playing on a soft 6 or better, I might swap to Colding on top. But I think we're seeing the race pretty similarly.
Soft 5 or better, I would be taking Colding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he doesn't like the cutout at all anymore. So... and there's better wet trackers in the field. Cool. Surround stakes, mate. Now, here is some value. Crikey. Group 1 for 3-year-old fillies, 1,400 metres. Tell you what, there was a stack of wet track form in the Chipping Norton, but there is sweet F all in this race, to my eye, anyway.
Yeah.
How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, well, it's just so many horses in the field. And
there's a bit.
Yeah. And I think there's going to be a lot of horses who are going to be vying for that front spot. You've got Forbidden Love going forward, Vangelic probably, La Mexicana probably, and then Away Game maybe. I saw Away Game was being vetted today. Did you see the result of that?
I didn't even know that, but
I'm not sure.
Regardless, she's not even close to my numbers.
Nah. So I think most of the horses across the park will probably move forward. You've got your sort of Dame Giselles who will be on pace. Your Montefiores will sort of slide in there. A couple others. And there's Hungry Heart all the way out in barrier 17. No thanks.
Where are they now?
There's one horse who will be way back in the field, though. And she needs a bit of luck to run well. But based on her last start, with an absolutely elite turn of foot, talked about her on the podcast as one to watch. I think she was about $16 for this race then. She's now $9. And number 7, Never Talk.
Chris Lees,
Newcastle horse.
Yeah.
Loves the cut out of the deck.
Loves it.
Absolutely loves it.
Thrives on it.
100%. Hasn't raced at the distance before, but...
Not an issue.
Not an issue in my books.
Nah.
She was charging to the line last start. Jason Collette's in good form, which you love to see when you're about to back a horse that he's riding. I think $9 is a fantastic price. There's Dame Giselle, not convinced that she's going to run a good race here. Montefiore, good horse.
Wants further.
Away game, no thanks. Hungry Heart, been burned. La Mexicana is a big, big threat in this race for mine.
Loves the cutout. Cousin Tommy Marquin on board.
Yep. A favourite Aussie.
Yeah.
That's a hard horse to beat, but I've got to stick to my guns. I really like Never Talk's run, so I've got her on top. But she'll need some luck because she's going to be way back and she needs to find a way through that field. But I think she's got the turn of foot to be able to do it. And if she does win, it'll be a pretty win, which you always like.
Yeah. No, it'll take the last 50 metres, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But mate, there's no wet track form in this race.
No,
there's none. Like, I reckon Dame Giselle would be really hard to beat if it was a good track, but I just don't see it happening that way. I've got Never Talk on top as well. I wanted to find the courage, but I think my head really took over in the end. But I think Forbidden Love is going to run a hell of a race here. I think she's one of the forgotten horses in this race. I'm pretty much just throwing her last run in the bin. She likes having, and she does her best racing when she's fresh. She's had 6 weeks in between runs here. And you look at her form over soft and heavy tracks, it's pretty damn good. So I think she likes the cutout. Man, she ran 3rd in the Empire Rose.
Oh, don't remind me about that race.
Behind Odium
and
Shout the Bar.
That really hurts me.
But, yeah, she was only half a length away from Shout the Bar that day. And Odium is arguably the best 3-year-old filly going round at the distance.
Yeah.
So I think, she looks like one of the forgotten horses in this race. So I've got Never Talk on top, but I reckon Forbidden Love's going to be in the contest for a long way because she races on speed. And who do I have running 3rd? I had La Mexicana.
Fair.
Yeah. I think it's hard to marry up that Melbourne form.
Yeah.
But she loves the cutout.
Yeah, and she's done nothing wrong, has she?
No.
And guess who's on the back?
Wasn't it Tommy Marquin?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Cousin Tommy. So, I'm pretty close to you, mate. I've got Never Talk on top, obviously. La Mexicana running 2nd, and shout out Sweat, Montefiore running 3rd. one of his favourites. We were having a chat last night about it, so I'll chuck her in there for you, mate.
Look, surely Sweat chucks it in because
course he does.
Because he's had 2 Group 1 wins, both on Montefiore in the Group 1 tally. Hey, we didn't find her.
No, we didn't.
But I feel like we need to lift. Anyway, good stuff, mate. So, Group 1's done and dusted. Time to get into our juicy stakes now. But a recap. So, my value play of the day, Brooklyn Hustle. Gee, I'm stiff. Pipped by a pimple into 4th place. And, I think that's what we want out of our value plays. We want them running into the top 4 for the exotics. But lost a 6-pack on the race as well because Bolton Sky beat it home.
Oh, jeez.
Insult to injury.
Where's your wounds? I'm going to rub some salt into them for you.
My
Jeez.
goodness. So, yeah, Portland Sky beat at home, but your best each way?
Animo in the Blue Diamond. So
nice.
he's a horse to follow, I think. I think he'll be a pretty good horse.
I think the only horse I want to take out of the Blue Diamond is Artorias, the winner, which you can't really say for many winners, but his turn of foot was unbelievable.
Yeah. I've watched a few replays to see where he came from.
He exploded. Yeah. So if he goes to those longer 2-year-old features in Sydney, he can definitely feature. Rich Hips won very nicely.
Great bet.
At my best each way, but not so much my best. Wolf, my God, he was plain AF. So yeah, lesson learned, punters. Don't have something that hasn't won for 70 weeks is your best bet.
And It's Our Time ran a really compelling second to Oxley Road. So look, mate, we were there or thereabouts.
Yeah, we're getting some winners, and we're running into the money. So
we're winding up.
That's all you can ask. And look, mate, I didn't expect to tip a winner in the first 4 weeks, so I'm happy about that. But value play of the day at Flemington this weekend. Kick us off.
I've gone to race 9, number 11, Charlotte.
Yes, Charlotte. Yeah, whatever.
Shalala. She's first up here, but she's unbeaten at the track and at the distance. And you just mentioned the Empire Rose. She ran 4th there. Not 100% sure what price she is now.
I think she was about $10 last time I looked.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yes, she was $10. She's come into $7.50. So still some value there, punters. More of an each way price. But yeah, I don't usually like backing horses first up, but when they're 2 from 2 at that price, I'll have a throw at the stumps.
Yeah, no, she looks like a very nice play. My value play of the day is race 8, number 10, which is a bloody tough race, that. But found a little filly down the bottom who just sticks her neck out and she tries every start. Undefeated, 3 from 3. She's been down the straight before. Young written miss. So she just shows tick, mate.
Yeah, really want to see how she goes, actually.
Yeah, so I reckon she'll be fighting it out to the end. Rocketing by.
This is the Rocketing by race.
Yeah. So Rocketing by $4. Look, that looks a pretty decent price for him, to be honest. But he was $20 or $30 last start when he beat all those 3-year-olds, and he's dropping back in distance. He's down the straight for the first time. I think he's
bit of a query
on paper. He's beatable.
Yeah. No. Agreed, mate. Agreed. Moving to each way in Flemington.
Yep.
So I like Defiant Dancer in race 4. $7.50 at the moment. Great record first up. Great record at the track. Great record at the distance. So I thought the $7.50 on offer was a good enough price.
What race? Race 4?
Yeah, race 4. Number 4. Got an apprentice on the back claiming 3 kegs.
This race. My God, I could not make any sense out of that race.
Yeah. Actually, guess who else is in that race on number 12 Legionnaire? Theodore Nugent. So look, if he brains my thing, I'll just cry myself to sleep. Yeah. But I think Defiant Dance's got a good record there at $7.50. Happy to have a play. Yeah,
nice. This looks one of the better bets on the card for mine. In the Blamey, which that race in itself, it is. I've never seen so many question marks in one race. It's crazy. You have let me just get this up real quick. You have 50 Stars, who's he's got a cold. Raj Dancer, who's he won a Group 1 over about 3,000 metres. Nerf Boss, who's been running in WA. Irish Flame, no idea. Best of Bod, who
killed our quaddie.
Yeah, quaddie killer himself. Mystic Journey, where are they now? Muhammad Deus. Had a real look at that horse because he's got the bar plates off for the first time.
Yeah, okay.
Which that's what Arcadia Queen had, and then she exploded and she's been a different horse since. But, he's not Arcadia Queen. Vacillator, yuck. Buffalo River, he's $2.80. What?
Yeah.
Tough race. The one I left out, Star of the Seas. How is this guy $6?
Don't know.
He's got Probabeel, Colding, and Very Elegant form.
Great form.
He was the favourite in the Epsom in the spring, and he ran second in Doncaster.
Yeah.
If he handles the Melbourne way of going, which is a bit unknown, I think he'll be winning and winning handsomely. So, yeah, he's my best each way of the day at Flemington. Who's your best?
Oh, got to go with the big H.
Oh,
Got to. Race 3.
crikey.
He's $5. That's some value that we want.
Holy, wowee. Wow, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was keen to play in that race, but not on Big H. But
There's nothing else in the race that's screaming out at me.
I'm Superman for mine.
Nah.
Yeah.
No thanks. I'm going to take the big H.
Okay, yeah. Now I'll back you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
No, we've doubted him before.
Yeah, we have.
First trip to Eagle Farm, killed him.
Yeah, he loves it.
Like 3 times in a row.
Yeah. No, he has a will to win.
He does.
And you can't train that into a horse. My best of the day, gee, this all up's going to pay anything.
It could pay absolutely anything.
So
It's a fill up.
So mine is at Flemington, race 5, number 10, Montesira. My goodness, I cannot believe the price of this filly. So, look, Fabigino, I understand, but prior to her coming to Melbourne, they raced her like 2 months in between runs, and suddenly they're racing her every other week.
On the quick backup, yeah.
I don't get it. So Montesira has some of the best form going around for straight races. She was half a length or a length off Swat's That and September Run. She's tried up a bomb. She'll be winning.
Yeah, of course she will. I like her too.
Yeah. So, yeah, she looks a cracking bet. Cool. Value play of the day at Randwick.
Oh, I can't go past Never Talk. She was $10 when I was doing the form. She's come in a bit now, but great value.
Yeah, she was my best each way play of the day. So my best value of the day, get race 7 up for me.
Race 7, Randwick. Where are we looking?
You'll find it. Keep going.
In the same race?
No. Oh, maybe it's race 5.
Put that in the bloopers.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I was actually going to say, this is the biggest meme race I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
We've got Reel 'em in Ruby, who just absolutely crushed my soul. When I had it all up that was paying an absolute fortune, she lost by a schnoz. I just needed her to win. Emeralds is a meme horse. Ice Bath is a meme horse. And then you've got Crone.
Crone's going to win this.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I saw it, we were going to be speaking about it on the podcast. But
jeez.
Yeah, Ice Bath will run second.
Quick story about this horse, punters. My goodness. We're at the pub about a month or two ago, and when she won at Magic Millions Day, I saw her in the form guide, and I've had a shekel on her every single time she's run, and I was like, 60 to 1? You're kidding. Tried to get the bet on, didn't work, and then she just screams down the inside.
Hell of a run.
Oh, and she has an elite short turn of foot, but she just doesn't show it.
She doesn't put it all together more often than not. Yeah.
So that's why you always get a price about this horse, but she can win this. $16 on offer. Cut out of the ground's the tick. And Randwick, a bigger track, is a tick. If this was at Rose Hill, no chance.
Yeah, she likes to peel out and find a way, but she's gone through the middle sometimes. Well, she needs luck, but when she gets it,
I like it that she's drawn out, and it's a small field, so she can be within Cooey, and she'll just bang.
She's gone up against 2 of the great non-winners in Reel 'em in Ruby and Ice Bath. So
oh, sweet deal! Oh my goodness, she knocked us out of a quaddie one day. Anyway, best of the each way.
Each way, Cousin Robbie on Skylab.
Skylab.
Yeah, isn't that an omen bet?
Yeah, that is an omen bet.
Cousin Robbie Dolan on Skylab.
What race?
Race 8.
Race 8.
Yeah, so I backed it last start. I think I chucked it in the quaddie. And won. So it's gone for 3 wins in a row here. Not quite an each way price anymore. It was about $5.50 for the win, $2 for the place yesterday. Come in a little bit. But yeah,
featherweight.
I like Skylab in that. So
beauty. My best bet of the day is Colette in the feature. So Yeah.
Your best bet?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I like Shakiro as my best bet of the day.
Okay.
In race 2.
Cool.
Yeah, really keen to see how it goes.
Yeah, depending on what exactly we want to put in our all up, we'll figure that out and we'll chuck it up on socials. But
yep.
Till next week, mate. We'll see you then.
It's been a pleasure.
Hooroo.
See you, mate.